Good evening and welcome to Paramount Plus as round 20 of the Isuzu Ute A-League competition kicks off this evening at Combank Stadium on Darug country. It's the Western Sydney Wanderers taking on Western United in the opening match of the Pride celebration weekend in the A-League, recognising the LGBTQI plus community as we strive to make football accessible, inclusive and safe for all. Well, the home side, the Western Sydney Wanderers, reeling from derby defeat last weekend. They have won just one in their last 5 and have dropped from fighting for the premiership to fighting to maintain their place in the top 6 and keeping their hopes of finals football alive. You can see the two sides lined up on the Isuzu Ute tunnel camp. Well, hopes of finals football are all but extinguished for the visitors. Western United, bottom of the league, but finally finding some form. Perhaps too little, too late. They need a miracle to make the finals, but a 1-0 win against Perth last weekend means that if they can back it up, who knows? Certainly a few of the sides above them are also struggling for consistency, and perhaps a few cards can yet fall in their favour. The head-to-head record between these two sides, Western Sydney have won the last 3 in a row and are looking for a record 4th in this fixture. Mind you, they've only met 11 times previous. It's 5 wins apiece for 1 draw as we have a look at the starting 11s for both sides. Wanderers coach Marco Rudan resisted the urge to make wholesale changes after that 4-1 drubbing at the hands of Sydney FC. The defence remains unchanged, starting in goal with Daniel Margouche, despite the return of Lawrence Thomas to the bench. The change comes in midfield, where Tom Beadling starts in the place of Alex Badalato. Brandon Borrello is still looking for his first goal of the season. They have been coming from Lockie Brook and Nicholas Milanovic so far this term. Marcus Antonsen is also making his return to the bench, while for Western United, they are looking for back-to-back wins for the first time this season. John Aloisi's made 3 changes from the side that beat Perth 1-0. James Donachie returns from suspension, which means Western have their first choice back 4 for the first time this season. Daniel Pena starts in the number 10 role after injuring himself, celebrating a goal against Melbourne victory 2 weeks ago. And Riku Danzaki makes his first start of 2024 after recovering from a shoulder injury. Michael Roos will lead the line in attack in the absence of Noah Botic, sidelined for the rest of the season with a broken bone in his foot. Well, there is Nick Milanovic alongside Lockie Brook. The two youngsters have 13 goals between them this season. Both scored doubles against Western United in round 2 in that 5-0 first half performance. Nick Milanovic is sitting on 4 yellow cards. It's the last match, the 20th of the season for Western Sydney, in which he could be suspended if he picks up that 5th yellow card. Well, 26-year-old Lockie Wales becomes the 3rd Western United player to play 100 matches in green and black in the A-League. In all competitions, he has 17 goals. 1 more and he will equal Alexander Prijovic in number 2, just behind a certain Besart Berisha in the all-time scoring charts. Well, there is Marco Rudan as Western Sydney Wanderers manager, 2nd in that list. He was also, of course, coach of Western United for 3 seasons as well. He knows this fixture from both sides of the dugout. And John Aloisi, there is his career record against the Western Sydney Wanderers. He'll be looking to edge towards squaring that ledger a little bit and end that run of 3 consecutive losses that he finds his side on against the red and black. Ben Abraham is our central referee. He's being assisted by Kearney Robinson and Hugh Fenton-White. Tim Danaskos is the 4th official. Round 20 of the Isuzu Ute A-League season is underway. Massive match for these two sides, particularly probably for the hosts, Andy Harper, without a win in their last 4 matches here at Combank, and just 1 win in their last 5. 1 win since defeating Western United by a 1-0 nearly 4 weeks ago now.
Yeah, good evening, Robbie. I think it's fair to say that this game means the world tonight to the Western Sydney Wanderers. Western United holding just the most faintest of hopes, really, to make the finals, and their intent will be to finish the season as strongly as they possibly can, and I'm sure they'll give that a tilt. But in a two-horse race tonight, tonight is all about the Wanderers, about burying the ghosts of last week on the field when they were just hammered by Sydney FC, and making sure that their return to the football field, with all the pain that's passed in the intervening days, can be dealt with effectively and to the contentment of the Western Sydney Wanderers fans who've been put through the ringer again.
Well, poor old Western United, unfortunately for them, the famous phrase, mathematically possible, has come out this week. For them, yes, it is mathematically possible that they make it to the finals, but that is something of a kiss of death for a side that have had such a difficult campaign. Western Sydney Wanderers' last home win came on the 1st of January, a 3-1 win over MacArthur, and their poor home form, which culminated in that 4-1 derby drubbing last week that you mentioned, Andy, has really illustrated their fall from grace at the moment. Brandon Borrello, much has been made of Socceroo Jamie McLaren's goal drought. Well, Brandon Borrello is without a goal in 9 matches so far this season as well, mind you. He did have a broken foot in the middle of that as well, that he's only just come back from, but certainly a goal will do his confidence the world of good, as you can see the league ladder as it stands. Western United at the bottom, but a win today and they will close to within a point, provisionally at least, of Newcastle, as the Wanderers initially try and play their way out from the back before Marcelo just belts the ball forward. Thurgate dispossessed by Lockie Brook. Nice quick feet from Brandon Borrello. Back with Alex Bonatig. Marcelo, he's mishit that raking crossfield ball, which is a feature of his game. Good interception by the Dutchman. Jorrit Hendricks looking to release Milanovic. He's been caught late. 3 minutes on the clock, and already referee Ben Abraham coming across to have a word to Josh Risdon.
That's the last warning already for Josh Risdon. Mightn't be much comfort for Jorrit Hendricks. The Wanderers have lost a few players this season with early and otherwise apparently inadvertent challenges. Antonsen a couple of weeks ago, wasn't that early in the game, but that tackle from Jacob Farrell
wasn't that inadvertent either.
Yeah, it wasn't that inadvertent either, most certainly. But Brandon Borrello's in the first Sydney derby is in that category. Thankfully, Hendricks has bounced to his feet. For the most part, has been a wonderful acquisition.
Well, they've used 30 players this season, Western Sydney Wanderers, more than any other side in the competition, and that has been due not only to injury but also suspension.
Yeah, and he was one of those players who's been sent off, had a bit of injury. I mean, it just come to me actually in talking about Hendricks as a bit of a snapshot for where the Wanderers find themselves. Great acquisition, part of a good team, played some great stuff.
As Western United break forward quickly, and Riku Danzaki, that was a pretty presentable opportunity.
And then before you realise what's happened, the wheels have started getting very wobbly, and they haven't won at home since January. You can't believe it, given the start to the season and the quality of the players. And
here's another on the front foot in Lockie Brook.
And how well their football was looking early stages, but they got a call on that foundation. Actually, they got a call on it really quickly, and they've got to stamp their authority here at home tonight.
Flag up for offside. Well, it's very tight, but the offside flag up against Lockie Brook, as there's that earlier opportunity.
Jeez, it's,
was there a hand there?
Before then, it was all the signs of a player going for a stoop header who's just come back from a shoulder injury in Riku Danzaki. That was a great chance for Western United.
Well, Michael Roos was certainly appealing for the handball. It might have come off the body of Aidan Simmons off Riku Danzaki's initial header. Let's have a look here. Oof. Oh, look, that's hit the outstretched left hand of Aidan Simmons there.
Yeah, I mean, go figure. Danzaki should have put that to bed without there any following controversy, but I think we've got I think there's a moment here. There's a moment here for the match officials where they're letting it go by the looks of things.
Now here, Thurgate back with Tomoki Imai, who becomes the all-time leading appearance maker this evening for Western United. It is match number 109 in all competitions for the Japanese stopper, so he's now played one more than Connor Payne did for the green and black.
Speaking of excellent league acquisitions, he certainly fits that bill, and it was Wanderers coach Marco Rudan who recruited him to the A-League.
Simmons with Brook coming inside, feet with Kittle. Brook a little 1-2 and trying to keep going, then Hendricks managed to bundle Pena off, and now there's a bit of afters here. Western United coming from everywhere, taking umbrage with Tom Beadling's challenge. They are not happy.
Well, there was the free kick that was given away. It doesn't involve Beadling. Kiston made up with Lockie Wales. There was a pretty cynical foul in there to stop the attack. The referee needs to get hold of this. He's tried to be patient to start things. Hendricks beaten there. Lockie Wales. I didn't actually get to see the foul that was committed that I thought was probably sanctionable.
Well, Josh Risdon was in the middle of it again. He's got 8 yellow cards to his name, the Western United skipper, who leads by example when he's on the pitch. And that's sent long. Hendricks, and it's Garuccio who's not appreciated that challenge, as Hendricks went in hard, and the free kick has gone the way of the home side, and there's a little bit of feeling in this one early.
Might have his hands full, referee Abraham tonight. He's a very, very good referee. Started with a very patient approach, has let a couple of things go, and the players have filled that space already. Strong from Hendricks.
It's James Donachie, not Garuccio.
Here's the breakthrough. So that is
Aidan Simmons.
Yeah, Beadling's just guilty for being there. Simmons, that's totally cynical. I'm not sure if he even has received a chat from the ref. It's at least worth that, just to keep a lid on things.
Well, that's 2 incidents inside the opening 10 minutes for Aidan Simmons, who was sent off in this fixture in Hobart. For a clattering challenge on Kane Vidmar. It was, as Hendricks looks long. Marcelo arriving. Matt Sutton claiming that one. Between the posts for the 3rd match in a row in the absence of Tom Hewitt-Bell. Sutton all the way across with Risdon, who's dispossessed by Milanovic. He recovers well, though. Pasquale now. No foul, but plenty of buffeting around of players.
Well, if you like your football physical, you're in the right place tonight on Friday evening on Paramount Plus. And you've got to credit Western United, who literally, according to most people's estimation, I think probably yours as well, Robbie.
Mathematically possible.
Yeah, and fateful words those. They're playing for pride at the moment. They're showing a lot of it. And figuring, I guess, that let's try and unsettle the Wanderers early because they've had a terrible week. We know how they feel. We've had plenty of terrible weeks this season.
Well, they also have one very big stake left to play for this season, which is playing at home, finally, in Tarneet.
Yeah.
At their Western Regional Sports Facility, which they are hopeful of playing their final 3 home matches of the season there. That is against MacArthur on the 6th of April, the Central Coast Mariners on the 13th, a week later, and then a midweek fixture, that rescheduled home match against Adelaide United.
And then, of course, Robbie, we should acknowledge the catfight that develops to get out of the bottom 4. So you avoid the ignominy, really, of having to play off to get into the National Cup draw for next year, the Australia Cup draw.
In early July.
Well, don't start me on that one.
Pena poking the ball out. Kittles missed it, which has allowed Garuccio the opportunity to get forward down the left flank. Garuccio wants it back on his left. He's got to wait for an option in support now, which comes in the form of Thurgate. Now Pasquale in behind for Garuccio, who tried to turn inside Lockie Brook. Can they find a dangerous ball into a scoring area, Western United? It's been a period of possession, but no danger as of yet. Imai into the feet of Roos. His touch is heavy. Turnover. Nice little 1-2-3. And another foul by Josh Risdon. Let's head down quickly to Niamh Owens, who's on the sidelines with us this evening. Niamh.
Robbie, it's a gorgeous evening for a game of football. 24 degrees here at CommBank Stadium, and I know we keep talking about that mathematical equation for Western United to make the finals. This does not feel like a team that has nothing to play for. Both John Aloisi and Hayden Fox here on the touchline, up and about, having a word with the 4th official, questioning that handball call earlier, and a few of the fouls. There is plenty of spice already in this game.
And perhaps an opportunity for Lockie Brook as well. Well, he's already got 3 this season against Western United, and he almost had number 4 there.
Well, in a goal-scoring sense, Robbie, it's the season that actually hasn't materialised for Lockie Brook. You think of the blaze of goal-scoring form he was in the Australia Cup. He hasn't brought it into the regular season, but that one nearly caught Sutton short. He's a really exciting talent, Lockie Brook. We've seen glimpses of it. Consistency. It hasn't been the bedrock of this campaign for him, but there's still time for him to be a leading light if the Wanderers can get a wriggle on.
Thurgate diving into that challenge on Beedling. You can't have too many complaints about the free kick being given now. Marcelo looking for Borello, who gives a thumbs up to the pass.
That's a beaut ball from Marcelo, a beaut ball. It's a good idea from Brandon Borello. He is capable of the unlikely, and that goal certainly would have fitted that description had he managed it. Very difficult technique to execute there.
Well, speaking of the unlikely, it was Ben Garuccio a couple of seasons ago in this fixture who produced one of the great A-League goals, and he scored a couple against Western Sydney Wanderers.
Well, a terrific start to this game, you'd have to agree. Very end-to-end. There's been spite, not overboard, certainly plenty physical, and really good ball movement up and down in both directions.
First corner of the contest. There is James Donachie. It's been a very frustrating season so far for him. Just his 3rd appearance as he makes his way to the 6-yard box, clatters into Margouche. In it comes Owen. Daniel Margouche went fishing and didn't catch anything. Another corner from the other side now.
Oh, it's a very tasty corner from Lockie Wales. It's not sure Margoose just all at sea there. West Brisbane couldn't wriggle clear to make a play at the ball.
Oh, look at the numbers in that 6-yard box. And again, Donachie is looking to get as close to Margoose as possible. You can almost tell where this one's coming from, Daniel Pena. In it comes near post as well, and it's Marcelo who turns it behind this time. So it's going to be a third corner in quick succession.
Oh, and credit to Margoose as well. He got to his near post with great agility there. The skipper was the extra barrier.
Well, a real scrum of players underneath the crossbar. In it comes again, the header from Kittle. It's out for another corner. And so normally it's Western Sydney Wanderers who are the set-piece specialists, particularly from corners and headed goals. They are using that to good effect to defend at the moment from a Western United side who have conceded a lot more than they have scored from corner kicks this season. Glancing header. It's there yet for Donachie, trying to set it up for the bicycle kick. Pasquale. Hendricks does well. Just too much desire for Lockie Wales, who prevents him getting the ball forward at least.
That's great leadership from Hendricks. He's been on the go from the get-go, actually. Just building his reputation, which I think has been enhanced by the bulk of his work as a Wanderer. It's been a really, really good pickup.
Oh, Marcelo having a little laugh there. He's a big, strong lad, Marcelo. And just turned the back on Michael Roos to invite the foul. A little bit clumsy from the Western United number 9, who's filling in for Noah Bottage this evening. Bottage, the Ollie-Roo. Barello, good ball. Brook, the cross. Kittle leaving it, he gets it back, and now Clisby can't keep it down.
Well, Western United pressing hard had taken a leaf out of Sydney's book. But the Wanderers played through that, I'm going to assume, in the manner that they intended, or at least spoke about last week. And in the end, that very nice attack falls, unfortunately for the Wanderers, to Jack Clisby's less favoured right foot. A good-sided goal, nevertheless, and really composed. Nice play, right up the field. Beautiful weight of passing, good movement, with a shot towards goal. You can't say on goal, but towards goal as the result. Well played.
That Sutton's goal kick only found a thumping header from Marcelo. Kittle's done well. Milanovic, this is good play again. Lockie Brook, he's in behind them here. He wants it on his left. And it was just a little bit too tight, a little too complicated to find the shot on the left boot that time.
Frustration for Lockie Brook, but beautiful from Milanovic. He's got quite the kit back. And not in the end just setting up for Lockie Brook the way he wanted.
Lockie Brook and Nicholas Milanovic both named in Tony Vidmar's Ollie-Roo's squad for the West Asian Under-23 tournament coming up during the next international break. 3 matches on the cards, and a look at what will most likely be the squad for the Under-23 Asian Cup, which will also serve, as well as continental glory, as qualification for the Paris Olympics for the men's Under-23 tournament at the Olympic Games. The top 3 qualifying out of Asia in the 16-team competition, as opposed to the 12-team competition for the women at the Paris Olympics, of which the Matildas qualified in style 2 weeks ago against Uzbekistan. Well played, Pena. Oh, and he was under pressure from Milanovic, who did an excellent job tracking back. Free kick goes Wanderers' way.
Well, that's 3 fouls from Josh Risdon, who after the first one got the talking to from the ref. And that's, to me, as bad as the Aidan Simmons one. And that just goes straight through to the keeper.
He's given away 40 fouls before tonight this season. Josh Risdon to go with his 8 yellow cards. He's a combative player, shall we say.
Terrific player. He's had a wonderful career. First player signed by Western United. Wonderful international career for Australia. It's really been an adornment, Josh Risdon, but that doesn't mean he's not to be held to account for tackles here and there. I think he's gotten away with a couple in this first half.
Lucky Brook with Tom Beedling. Brook still, now Hendricks. Gets it back, that's well played, just poking it through. Brook still. Now he has Milanovic outside him, he looks to go the other way. He's being held by Imai, or at least so he claims. Western United bring it away. Niku Danzaki with a touch on that left flank. Well, Ben Abraham was right there. Didn't see anything untoward. Here's Risdon again. Danzaki with Garuccio. And the cross is mishit. Gets another chance with Pasquale. Gets it back again. Ben Garuccio. Pena back again. It's a great run. Now he's fallen in the area under pressure from Alex Bonatig. He stayed down, and there's a push in the back from Risdon again. Oh, now has he lost his tooth there? He has. Well, that is painful.
Well, beautiful from Pena.
Is it the ball?
Yeah, looks like it. Well, setting out a search party for...
Yeah, well, they're looking for it. They should check in the ball, perhaps. There it is.
Get it straight in, Benny. This is one of the more unusual and certainly unfortunate sights.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's show us the pearly whites. A big smile from Ben Garuccio. Now, who wants it? Can put it under his pillow later tonight.
Ouch. No blood, amazing.
It might have broken off. It didn't look like it was big enough to be the whole tooth.
And nothing but the tooth. He can't handle the tooth.
Now Kittle. Lucky Brook, he has been impressive so far in this one. Kittle still. Back with Lockie Brook. Tries it from distance this time. Well, he's had joy against Western United this season. Scored in both the matches. 2 wins out of 2 for Western Sydney. And he's looked the most likely scorer this time for the Red and Black.
And the test for Lockie, as he is at the moment blazing away, is not to get frustrated. I mean, they're very lively. And the signs otherwise are very positive. Just mustn't allow the poor finishing, the errant shooting, to get on top of them, maintain the rage. And I think the Western United approach is helping the Wanderers keep that focus as well. It's been a really end-to-end game. Plenty of speed about it.
It has been an open contest. For the moment, we're still waiting for our first shot on target. Thurgate with Pena. First time ball up the line with Lockie Wales. Oh, Pena continued his run. He almost caught out Bonatig. Hendricks header out of play. It will be Josh Risdon, who's quickly catching Zinedine Mashash, who came into this weekend's round of matches having given away 46 fouls, the most in the league. Risdon in second place is catching him, as it's a good run by Garuccio.
That's top work from Simmons. Nice attack from Ben Garuccio. And he pins his ears back and he dared Aidan Simmons. But the Wanderers defender stuck to his task. Another difficult, you'd imagine, corner situation that the Wanderers have to defend here. And determined, of course, by the quality of the delivery from Lockie Wales.
And again, Donachie looking to put the pressure on the keeper. In it comes towards Dan Zaki. Hendricks is there. Everyone's lost sight of the ball. And it's Sonny Kittle that got it clear in the end as Garuccio. Well, it's taken a touch off a Western United player. So Aidan Simmons, who was involved a lot in the early minutes of this contest, has been trying to keep a bit of a lower profile, but he's doing his defensive duties well. Wales. Pasquale, good ball into the feet of Ruse. Here's Pena, and we thought was going to start in that number 10 role, but he's drifting out onto this right-hand side more and more to try and double team, and we do have a first booking, and that is a 5th yellow card of the season for Marcelo. This was the 20th game, so the final one in which 5 yellow cards this season will get you a suspension. And there he's holding on, and holding on too long to Michael Ruse. That's why he's received the yellow, and that will mean suspension next week for Marcelo. They're on the road for the next 3 weeks, Western Sydney, on either side of the international break as well. Melbourne City next up, then Perth and Macarthur, all away for the Wanderers. Now, generally, you'd say this is too far out for a direct shot at goal. The signal from Lockie Wales suggests that's the case, but Daniel Pena can hit them. They go back post. Josh Risdon sliding in. Can't steer the ball back across the face of goal.
Yeah, overhit from Lockie Wales. His corners have been pretty spot on, but he couldn't find the same quality to put the Wanderers' defence under proper pressure there.
It's a great ball and a lovely control and turn from Sonny Kittle. The new midfielder had only just arrived. This is his second start, 4th consecutive appearance in the middle of the park. For the Wanderers. Already provided 1 assist. Big Brazilian Marcelo getting the free kick this time. He looks long towards Brandon Borello. Lovely control. Looks back the other way. Lockie Brook takes over. Now Clisby. He's got Milanovic in the middle. They are good in the air, the Wanderers. They're a good crossing team as well. Clisby. In it comes. Headed away by Thurgate. Borello. Just hesitated a moment between he and Brook. Well, that's a great turn from Daniel Pena, leaving Beadling in his wake. Pena now looking for Riku Danzaki. It was almost perfect.
Well, it was a beautiful turn, as you so aptly described it, Robbie. And then with the hard bit done, you would put anything on Daniel Pena. Look at this. And a great replay captured by our guys and girls. And at this point, you'd put anything on Pena hitting the spot, because his passing in that sort of situation is normally deadly.
Well, I will give you one amazing statistic from Daniel Pena's season so far. 5 goals, no assists this Isuzu Ute A-League season for a man that provided 11 in his first season with the Newcastle Jets.
Yeah, with a Newcastle Jet teammate in Becca Mikultadze who was putting some goals away. I guess a more accurate stat, Robbie, would be how many chances has Pena created.
There's a little ball over the top.
And I would suggest that that number is still a very favourable reflection.
Here he is again. Beadling can't foul. That's a great pass for Lockie Wales. Squares it. Oh, and just a toe from Marcelo to deny Ruse, and Danzaki behind him.
Case in point, can we chalk that up as a chance created from Pena?
Well, I think in the stats that goes down as a chance created by Lockie Wales.
There you go. There's stats, and there are stats.
Now Ruse looking for a stat of his own. Ruse still going. Oh, it's a brilliant run. Well, it is a stat. It's a shot off target.
But I love the little feint to suck Marcelo in. Look at Pena. He rides the tackle. It's a poor first touch from Lockie Wales. Takes him wider than he wanted, and then they just lacked another player coming through. Ruse does beautifully here to put Marcelo on his butt and then loses balance. Unfortunately, again, with the hard work done. Well, this has been really fun to watch, Robbie. No goalkeepers have been forced to save anything yet, but don't read anything into that. This has been end-to-end.
Well, it's probably been the problem of these two sides in recent weeks.
Yeah.
Their failure to actually put the ball in the back of the net. 4 times Western United have lost matches where they've finished with a higher XG than their opposition team. Putting the ball away has been the problem. Milanovic. Still Milanovic, who shoots, is deflected, and I thought for a moment that was looping dangerously over Sutton in the Western goal. In the end, it was comfortable enough.
We needed something on the back of this. He ignored the run of Brandon Borello early on, and that's fine. You make those decisions when you're in control of the ball. But he needed something to test the goalkeeper. In the end, it was a deflected effort that was easy to defuse for Sutton. But he does show plenty, and he's got plenty of swagger about him, Milanovic.
Sutton almost under pressure from Borello. He did that pretty coolly. Now Garuccio now trying to make heavy work of this Western United, playing out from the back, but in the end, well, it's just perhaps a nasty bounce for Pena as well that invited the challenge from Hendricks. Milanovic, Hendricks again. He's been fouled by Ruse, and Ruse has to be careful too, because he is also starting to be a repetitive fouler. That's what the crowd inside Combank are letting the referee know.
And acknowledged by the referee. The referee gave him the count, and Daniel Pena moved in quickly to push Ruse away. Just take your medicine and get out of here before you irritate the man in control.
He joins Josh Risdon on 4 fouls conceded in the match so far. The foul count currently very much in Western Sydney's favour. They have won twice as many free kicks, or conceded half as many. Perhaps is a better way of putting it. And Western United, here's Simmons. Turns inside Danzaki, then Thurgate. Milanovic, a little 1-2. Oh, and as he tried to accelerate the play out to the left towards Clisby, just caught him wrong-footed. Well, the last two shots of the match have come from Western United. All the way back with Margouche, who does see Lawrence Thomas back on the bench this evening, so perhaps almost back to full fitness. The Socceroos keeper, there he is, watching from the sidelines. 5 clean sheets in 10 appearances for Lawrence Thomas, just 2 in 8 so far for Margouche, and the free kick goes against Tomoki Imai. Oh, just too much according to referee Ben Abraham, and a yellow card for Imai. Dangerous enough with the camera there, I guess.
Yeah. Does that come into the rest calculation? Maybe.
Maybe.
Unavoidably.
Advertising hoardings.
Maybe unavoidably, yeah. You've got to take more care when there are various obstacles around.
As the free kicks are really starting to add up at the moment. Hendricks just has his ankles hooked. Pena apologises.
And a few of the free kicks, Robbie, as you've called, have been snide and cynical. There have been a few of those. But most of them have been because both sets of players have been so intent on trying to close down opponents really quickly. And the ball's just moved out of the way, the foul's committed it. You can't really have a complaint. Well, one wouldn't have a complaint with the foul count because it's actually reflecting well on the attitude of both sets of players, basically.
As Thurgate has hit the deck on the edge of his own penalty box. Referee put whistle to mouth, but then decides to play on, and Riku Danzaki is just swallowed up by red and black shirts. Again, referee says Western United have the ball, so we can keep playing. Thurgate still feeling his head in the middle of the park. Sutton with Donachie, who in his second match back after injury this season was red carded against the Newcastle Jets late on in that third win of the season. Oh, I think perhaps he got a little boot in the head, did he?
I think he did, but accidentally.
Yes, you can see the blood between the eyes.
Brandon Barello's the heel of his boot on.
And the referee's just spotted it, I think. He's going to have to change his shirt as well because there's blood on the shirt. He's decided to receive treatment on the field of play.
Who allowed the medical staff on the field?
We'll have a look here. Just look at the boot of Barello when they turn.
It's completely accidental. This doesn't ameliorate against the pain probably being felt by Angus Thurgate, but it's a really interesting interchange, this. The referee insisting the player leaves, and on whose authority did the medical staff enter the field of play? Surely the fourth official let them in.
Well, I did see.
Or do they just storm
Thurgate? Angus Thurgate waved.
Yeah, we saw
the
that.
staff towards him.
So then they just stormed the barricade, did they? The doctor saw blood. I'm going for it. Anyway, the player's getting the attention he needs now.
Exactly. I mean, if he needs stitches, I guess the point is he was leaving the field of play. We could be playing, but Western United don't want to have to play a player down. And here is the explanation with the fourth official and John Aloisi. A bit of Vaseline on the cut. And now he does have to leave the field of play because he's received treatment on the field. Well, we are back underway, and referee Ben Abraham says Thurgate can rejoin. So all's well that ends well, particularly for Western United, who get away with not having to play with a player down for a couple of minutes, which will be added on at the end of the first half. Margouche with Bonatig, one of the youngsters that have been given so much responsibility this season by Marco Rudan. Hayden Simmons is one who we saw last season, and he's had a disrupted 23-24 campaign with injury and then suspension.
Well, we heard before the game Marco Rudan talking with Neve Owen about assessing the players based on their reaction first training session, then through the week and game day. And you'd have to say, after the extreme disappointment of last weekend's derby, Marco Rudan's got the reaction. They've worked devilishly hard this first half, right across the field. The passing and the attack, has been much better than last week. The work off the ball has been very good as well. Just missing some conviction in the final third at the moment, the Wanderers.
Murillo's pass again. That's not accurate enough. Ben Garuccio sliding in to challenge. Hendricks. Great switch of play for Clisby. Milanovic comes short. One way then the other. A little touch for Hendricks, poking it through to Clisby. Thurgate manages to pick out Pena. For Wales, Bonatig in front position. He's defended that well, but he's given it straight back to Daniel Pena in a dangerous position. Danzaki. I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do there. It was difficult at any rate. Oh, as Pasquale goes down. Now, Western United are claiming that it should have been play on for a penalty there. The referee has pulled it back for a handball outside the box in Western United's favour. Well, there's not much Clisby does there. On Aloisi's side, as Pena sneaks around the back like two kids in the school playground. Marcelo. Now, there's the hand from Simmons.
I think they're definitely on the hand, but that escaped sanction inside the box earlier in the match. Not dissimilar action.
I think the... Yeah, absolutely. Well, the one in the box was probably even more obvious.
Yeah.
Now, no penalty, which I think is probably fair enough.
Yep.
There wasn't much in it from Clisby.
No, I completely agree with that. So this sequence has found its natural balance.
And it will be Rocky Wales and a toothless Ben Garuccio. standing over this one. And by the way he placed the ball, Ben Garuccio, he was missing that right eye tooth. We'll be lining this one up now. You're not allowed to have those players so close to the wall for Western United either. And Ben Abraham actually disallowed a free kick a couple of seasons ago for players too close to the wall. A free kick goal. I think it was Newcastle that day. Daniel Pena might have been involved. He was almost involved again there.
Kittle winning the free kick, fair and square. And the Western United players gathered and ensured they couldn't take the free kick quickly, which was a winding back of the rules from IFAB a few years ago. And I don't understand why they did that, why players are now allowed to encroach and stop quick retakes. I don't understand that one.
Marcelo under pressure. Margouche manages to get it clear. 90 seconds of the 3 minutes of stoppage time have elapsed. Brook flicking it up. It's Donachie who gets there. James Donachie on the charge forward, twisting and turning. He wins the throw off Aidan Simmons. Garuccio gets it back from Pena. Tries to straighten up. Clever little touch from Kittle again. Gets it back rather fortuitously from Milanovic. Kittle with Brook. Brandon Borello towards Milanovic. It's well watched by Angus Thurgate.
You say, let's go back 12 months when Brandon Borello was breaking new ground into Socceroos territory, and that sequence 12 months ago when he ends up with the ball in the penalty area is almost a guaranteed shot on goal, if not a goal. And the lack of games, of course, the injury, it takes you out of the rhythm of football, but perhaps that's an indication of one reason why the Wanderers have struggled for consistent results, positive results.
Well, he's still yet to score a goal this season. Brandon Borello. And he missed out on heading to the Asian Cup as well with the Socceroos because of that broken bone in his foot. Mind you, did get married. That will remain a special year in the Borello household. Kittle with the free kick, back post towards Marcelo, dealt with by Risdon. Marcelo pulling out the old Brazilian dribbling tricks. Ruse trying to get under his skin, and now Brandon Borello comes across to have a word, and it started spicy, it finishes spicy. The first 45 minutes at Combank Stadium. No goals, one missing tooth, and plenty of action and spice in the match between the two Westerns, which at half-time is the Western Sydney Wanderers 0, Western United 0.
Moss with his very first international goal. Here's Jackson Irvine. It's there for Australia. Jackson Irvine. Goodwin. Craig Goodwin on the volley.
Welcome back to CommBank Stadium. Pride celebration round getting underway in the Isuzu Ute A-League this weekend. And for the moment, we are without a goal between the Western Sydney Wanderers and Western United. Josh Risdon has been amongst the fouls and amongst the thick of the action. There's been a fair bit of niggle between the two sides. The rainbow colours out in force. Each club allowed to celebrate it as they wish. We're going to see Pride jerseys, corner flags, captain's armbands over the course of the weekend. And of course the original Pride Cup match tomorrow evening on 10 Bold and Paramount Plus. The original rivalry match between Adelaide United and Melbourne Victories. We're back underway, Andy Harper, in the second half here, hoping for the same amount of action and activity from both sides, but perhaps just a little goal to punctuate it.
Well, couldn't agree more with the first statement. If a goal comes, well, that'll make one set of fans happy. But if we get the same level of intensity an application in the second half as the first half, which can be a difficult ask over 90 minutes. But I'd leave happy. I really enjoyed that first half. But, you know, both sets of players, the Wanderers, with a huge point to make to themselves as a football team tonight. Just the one change from the starting lineup from the very disappointing performance last weekend against Sydney FC. And Western United, as Neve Owens reflected.
As here's Lockie Brook, a little touch back for Brandon Borello. And already a minute gone and the first half a chance in this second half.
Yeah, as Neve reflected early in the match, for a team that, for all intents and purposes, is not playing for finals football, I guess they'll still believe that until actually the maths even runs out on them. But for most of us, they're playing for pride and they're doing it very, very well. They were great value in that first half, Western United. And so he's hoping both sets of players come out with the same mentality.
Good ball over the top again, looking for Clisby, claimed by Sutton. Well, we'll head down to Neve in just a moment when we have a break in play to find out what was said from the two coaches during the half-time break, as the little dummy from Risdon looking for Pena. Touch off for Pasquale. Ruse being very tightly watched by Marcelo, and Ruse is pinned there for something. Just a little bit late.
Yeah, it's a foul.
Ball in from Milanovic. Borello. And the flag is up for offside. So let's head down to Neve. What did the coaches say at half-time, Neve?
Robbie, both coaches pretty happy at the break. Marco Rudan really happy to see that the fight is back with his team. He encouraged them to get balls in behind. He wants to see them looking for some more forward runs in this half. John Aloisi, on the other hand, said he was really happy with their structure. They're going to continue to try to win balls, look forward early and penetrate. He wants them to get into good areas and create some good openings, looking to open the scoring in that sense. The ground is breaking up a little bit though, Robbie. They were out there at half-time, filling in some divots for this second half.
Well, it is Western United. Thank you, Neve. Onto the front foot here. A little cross back to the edge of the area. Danzaki thought about the volley, brought it down, and now Pena into the area. Little touch off. Danzaki again, who goes without it. And Marcelo back with Margouche. They managed to get it clear, only as far as Donachie.
Well, there's another example of how well Daniel Pena can construct an attack, and it's not his fault that the supporting cast hasn't been up to it. A couple of seasons ago, when that ball first comes over to Riku Danzaki when he was playing for Brisbane, I reckon he volleys that. That confidence, and he's just back from injury too, so you've got to understand the context of these things. But Western have got plenty of really attractive attacking players, and the fact that they haven't scored goals is a bit of a mystery, and to a certain extent it's not because of a lack of prompting from Daniel Pena.
That is now 14 matches out of the 20 they've failed to score by half-time. Mind you, there's another team not doing too well in that department, and it's their hosts this evening, Western Sydney, the 12th time they've failed to score. That's a good ball towards Lockie Wales at the back post. Pasquale's touch, Pena outside for Danzaki again. They've got a few to aim for in the middle if the cross arrives. Garucio's ball curling towards the back stick. There's Clisby who'll run it away. Bonity. Long. Tomaki Imai only found Sonny Kittle, but it falls in the end for a white shirt. Pasquale with Garuccio again. Looked up for the deep cross, but there was nobody in the area to aim for that time. See Western Sydney pressing, trying to defend on the front foot, forcing Western United back. Garuccio again. Oh, that's under hit for Pasquale. A little bit, fortunately, he gets it back. Now Risdon. Wales. The third Western United player to play 100 A-League matches for the Green and Black in the club's history, Lockie Wales, this evening. "14 A-League goals, but 18 in all competitions for Western United. Besart Berisha scored 26, Alexander Prijovic 19 in all competitions in red and black, so Lockie Wales is going to move ahead of Prijovic when he next finds the back of the net. Milanovic, little 1-2, it's nicely worked. Milanovic, oh, what a goal! Fantastic finish from the Olyroos, his 7th of the season. A wonderful strike, and deserved of breaking the deadlock here at Combank.
Well, it's a good Harvey Norman replay, this one. It's been a trademark of his this year, Milanovic. Starting wide left, touching it inside, Risdon beating him, skipping past Thurgate, the give and go with Barello. And the right foot was rasping. Really brilliant finish from a fine young player of whom much more can be expected. The game, which has been very good, has finally got a goal to boast. And it's a decent goal about which to boast as well. No one's stopping that.
Left foot, header, right foot, doesn't matter how they come. But Nick Milanovic, it's a breakthrough season for him. He joins Lockie Brook as top scorer this season for the Wanderers with 7 goals, and in the absence of goals from Brandon Barello, it's the 2 young wingers that keep providing the difference for the Wanderers. Thurgate fouled by Kittle. Western Sydney are the only side in the Isuzu Ute A-League competition with a 100% win record when they score first. Now that's just the 9th time they've opened the scoring this season, but the previous 8 they've won all 8 of them. Garuccio with Pasquale, he looks back post. It's a difficult one for Risdon. Lockie Wales will get there though. Looks to get the cross back in, and it's going to be corner number 6 for Western United.
Sorry, Robbie, very good movement from Western United, and they've played well tonight. They haven't found the goal threat, although to my mind a hugely contentious penalty decision not worth considering in that first half, evidently, but them's the breaks. They've really struggled to threaten the goal otherwise.
Pena's ball in, well, that was a threat. Hitting the post and driven back in off the line by Milanovic. Well, just moments after he scored a stunning opener, he saves his side at the other end.
Well, struggled to threaten apart from these types of pressurised situations, and it hits the post, would have been an own goal, and Thurgate steers it towards goal, and that might have been an own goal as well off Milanovic. I don't think he knew much about that.
I think that's hit direct from Pena.
Yeah, maybe. I thought possibly Marcelo. At any rate, it was at 2 very near escapes from the Wanderers. For the Wanderers.
Margouche. Now if he can, oh, that's a pass. Marcelo was really caught on his heels there, waiting for that ball to arrive. Now he's under pressure from Roos. And somehow measures, that was almost a wonderful clearance. It's just drifted out of play, so it'll be a throw for Western United. Back near the corner flag, as the youngster Matthew Grimaldi is preparing to make his 16th appearance of a breakthrough season for him. Played his first full 90 minutes last weekend. Pulled up a little bit sore enough this week to just keep him out of the starting 11. And it's Riku Danzaki who makes way. That's a disappointing end. Just have drifted out of play. It was a pinpoint pass up the line otherwise. Picked out Lockie Brook brilliantly as Riku Danzaki heads to the bench, and a little shake of the hand with the 18-year-old reserve goalkeeper Michael Vonya, who's on the bench again this weekend in the absence of Hewitt Bell. Bonnetti. Brook. Kittle. Oh, the flag was already up for offside, I think, against Lockie Brook. Now Lockie Brook again takes it past Grimaldi. Simmons. Beedling all the way back with Marcelo. Here's Hendricks now. Oh, he's turned into trouble in the form of Thurgate, but Beedling helps get him out of that little hole he dug for himself. Now Risdon, long ball for Roos. It's been a big physical contest between Roos and Marcelo. He might. Winning the ball in the air, Beedling with Brook. Now, danger, Garuccio. Garuccio getting the better of Simmons, but it's Bonnetig crossing cover. Pasquale's done well. Pena, this is where he's dangerous. Well, he thought there was an option on the left, but there wasn't.
Well, a little bit of a scrappy period in the game, which nearly yields a couple of chances at either end, certainly for Western. Endeavour from Ben Garuccio to try and force the issue, and then Daniel Pena can't find Grimaldi, or Grimaldi wasn't looking for the Pena pass.
Now Garuccio back in towards Pena again. Sutton out, sweeping outside his box. Kittle does well with Hendricks. Oh, there's a foul there by Thurgate. And it'll be a third booking of this contest after Marcelo and Imai puts Angus Thurgate into the book.
So flew in there, Thurgate. That's a card and a half. Hendricks has been on the receiving end of a couple tonight. That's the heaviest he's had to endure.
Well, they defeated Western United 1-0 in Hobart courtesy of Lockie Brooks' 35th minute goal, and despite Simmons' red card early in the second half, they lead again by 1-0 here. At home this time, the Western Sydney Wanderers. And what an important 3 points this will be for them. In fact, courtesy of their number of victories, as it stands, they will be climbing not only above Sydney FC just ahead of them, but above Melbourne Victory as well, at least provisionally, before the rest of this weekend's matches. Up into 4th place with the win. Imai inviting the press, and they managed to play their way through. Pasquale for Pena, but he's dispossessed. Oh, but Bisbee just gave it straight back to Josh Risdon. There's an energy about the Western Sydney Wanderers, which there has been, to be fair, since the start of the contest, but at the moment Western United are just struggling to match it a little bit. They're not making any headway. They're chasing the game. Perhaps Grimaldi can provide a little bit of the spark, but it's Lockie Brooke back helping out his right back. Obviously, Western United's rivalries, apart from MacArthur's, are the youngest in the league. As Pena, it was another quick little turn. Even so, this will be the first time either club have won 4 in a row in the history of this fixture, if it stays this way. Western United won 3 in a row before the Wanderers' current run. As Wales, that's a good run, lays the ball off. The cross from Grimaldi, who was just stretching. He might have stretched a little too much.
Well, it's a great run from Lockie Wales, and Grimaldi would have been perhaps advised to have left that for Angus Thurgate. A nice play from Western United, who have been playing some nice stuff, and it just wouldn't be out of order completely for them to score. The Wanderers have to really stay focused here, and it's not that their game's dropped off, but you've got to remain vigilant. The Western United have been very bouncy tonight, and in games like this, Robbie, this is when the 19 matches that have preceded and yielded so few goals and so few points, that's the momentum that kicks in at this point. And as hard as they're working, and they've been very impressive by and large, finding that little bit of magic that's going to break the cycle for you, it gets in wrapped in that whole season of disappointment so far. Very difficult to break out of that, but they're working so hard to try and do it. For that reason, oof.
It's Garuccio's turn to go into the book as he went flying into that challenge on Simmons.
Well, I think on that evidence it's the right decision from the ref. And Garuccio did go in with his boots up and flailing, but he did, to me it seemed, Robbie, to retract those boots and not go through full-blooded with that tackle.
Double change for the Wanderers with Zach Sapsford and Oscar Priestman coming on. So 2 more of the young brigade replacing Tom Beadling and Lockie Brooke. So Priestman for Beadling in the middle of the park, and Sapsford for Lockie Brooke, who fails to score against Western United for the first time this season. given the burgeoning rivalry between these two sides. Lockie Brook is currently the equal top scorer in the fixtures history. All the goals coming in his last 2 games. 3 of them. Mitch Duke also got 3 in this fixture, and so did Alexander Prijovic. Nick Milanovic, I should add to that list as well. After the 2 he got in that 5-0 victory, he's got 3 against his former club for Western Sydney. We approach the midway point of the second half. They've lost just one of the last 4, Western United, scoring in each of them. Before that, they failed to score against the Phoenix and Western Sydney. And you mentioned the fact that goals have been hard to come by. 19 in 19 matches before today's. Garuccio's cross is superb. And that is perhaps the perfect illustration of the problem. Great ball across the 6-yard box. John Aloisi can't believe it as another chance goes begging.
Well, that's got to be the tap-in for Michael Roos. It's brilliant from Garuccio, who took the march early and quite understandably didn't expect himself to be able to outrun Aidan Simmons, who's really defended nicely in that part of the game. He got that half bit of space, he whacked the ball across the 6-yard box, and Michael Roos has the front position. He's done everything right, but cannot get contact on the ball. That should have been the equaliser.
Rukovica watches from the sideline. He's got 1 goal to his name this season. It came a couple of weeks ago in the 2-2 draw with Brisbane, in which they squandered the lead. There have been a few matches like that themselves, Western United, where they've managed to snatch a draw from the jaws of victory. That's a good ball, Grimaldi for Garuccio. Good save, Margouche, as he palms it out wide, and Lockie Wales manages just to keep it alive, but Thurgate, Risdon blocks it back into the danger zone. Great ball over the top, Grimaldi! And he scored, and the equaliser does arrive. Just a minute after they had one great chance, the Wanderers failed to heed the warning, and Western United are back on level terms.
Well, the Wanderers just not able to clear their lines on the Harvey Norman replay. A robust challenge there from Roos on Marcelo. A slight deflection, well saved by Margouche. And just not able to get the ball clear. And Daniel Pena will put a goal on for you. You just got to finish it off. This time, Grimaldi does just that. Nice touch to control and an assured finish to level the score. Beautiful scoop over the top from Daniel Pena.
Well, his first ever A-League goal was nothing but a consolation against Sydney FC. He'll be hoping, as this one's just getting a little look at by VAR.
Is there potential for the Josh Risdon block to have had a handball to it? Is that what we're looking at?
That was my first thought as well. Looks like it's all clear. Goal stands. So Matt Grimaldi's second ever A-League goal for the moment is worth a share of the spoils. He has been impressive this season, the Western United number 39. Borello with Milanovic. Little touchback, Brandon Borrello. The crowd rising. And he found space for the shot, but he couldn't direct it on target.
Yeah, just seemed to stab at it a little bit. Made space nicely. Good movement forward. Jack Clisby belting forward to support the attack. Milanovic skipping away nicely again to get the ball to Borrello.
Now, can Western Sydney maintain their 100% winning record when they score first? Or are Western United going to turn the tables on what has been the story of their season, conceding costly late goals? Perhaps they're going to come from behind. Free kick goes in favour of Jorrit Hendricks. Priestman with Hendricks. Good ball into the feet of Borrello. It's a good challenge though by Pasquale. Sliding in. Borrello goes back on the charge. Thurgate. Risdon with Imai. It's very coolly done by Western United. Left back to right back again. Risdon's done that brilliantly. It's a fairly long-winded 1-2, but it's worked a treat so far. The cross in, and Michael Roos with a free header. Just 8 yards out, can only direct it straight at Daniel Margouche.
Beautiful from Risdon. Actually, in totality, Western United did brilliantly to play out from the back. The Wanderers had a real crack at trying to press them in and pinch the ball, but couldn't. Great delivery from Garuccia. Could not steer the header wide of the keeper, Michael Roos. A good chance to go ahead in this game.
A little 1-2 again with Pena. Here's Grimaldi. Gets it wide. Thurgate's cross back in. Western United asking a few questions of the Wanderers here. Well, the capitulation in the derby will not be looked upon with a kind eye by their supporters if they give up another goal here, as Lockie Wales goes looking for some contact in the area. Referee not interested. Clisby taking evasive action. Kittle back with Hendricks. Here's Oscar Priestman. Marcelo with Simmons. Priestman again. Sonny Kittle controls well. Hendricks looking towards Sapsford. Simmons almost doing the Guatemoc Blanco.
Exactly what I was.
The frog.
Yeah, that's it. I was just imagining the Mexican, the great Mexican, that trademark move. Any contact from Clisby on Lockie Wales, or something made him fall over? He's still asking the question.
Well, he thinks there was. He's maybe just seen it again on the big screen. Jorrit Hendricks back on the ball. He's starting to see a lot more of it. Borrello is the anchor point, the target for so many of those passes into feet. I wonder how fit Antonsen is on the bench after that injury against the Mariners.
It would be great to see him back. It's a lot sooner than expectations, is it not?
Yeah, it was meant to be out for 8 weeks. Now it's been only 3. Oh, here's Pena on the left foot. He drills it into the bottom corner. Fantastic finish from Daniel Pena. And they have come from behind. And now they find themselves in front.
Well, it's a nice turn from Roos, but again, it's awkward defending from the Wanderers, to put it mildly. On the Harvey Norman replay, he sets one up and he finishes the second, Daniel Pena, with that magnificent left foot of his. And now for the Western Sydney Wanderers, massive, massive question for them to answer. Can they come back from this after leading the match? The Nera Verde have stung them twice.
Daniel Pena with his 6th goal of the season. And a change for each side. Milos Ninkovic coming on to replace Sonny Kittle. And the other change for the away side, Nikita Rukavitsya coming on to replace the hard-working Michael Roos. Western United were actually about to make a double change, but perhaps have decided now just to hold on, now that they have their noses in front. And perhaps, just perhaps, their season isn't over just yet. Risden was looking for Grimaldi. Confirmation of those changes. Well, Daniel Pena with a goal and an assist this evening in a come-from-behind performance. Good ball over the top for Clisby. Hooks the ball back into the middle. Grimaldi clears. Now you think back to that near courageous victory over Melbourne Victory, where they were hanging on with a single goal advantage, and they sat back, and Victory got those 2 goals through to Silva in stoppage time. And have they learnt those hard lessons, this young Western United side? They've conceded costly late goals. Brisbane more recently was another one. Markovski in 90 plus as Marcelo. Well, for a player that good in the air, that was a gilt-edged opportunity.
Yeah, and against a team whose defending set pieces, principally corners, this year has been woeful, and they should have been punished again. It's nicely flighted from Hendricks, slightly behind Marcelo in his defence, but still, I agree with your original assessment. He's been awesome in the air ever since he put the red and black on, and that fabulous reputation deserted him almost when it mattered most.
Look at that. Brisbane, who will have played a match more than Western Sydney for a little bit longer, but could draw level with a win. Oh, as Pena releases Rukavitsya. Oh, cool finish. With 10 minutes left to play, Nikita Rukavica has added goal number 3, and Daniel Peña is the orchestra conductor once again.
Well, off the bench and onto the score sheet. It's a really strong tackle from Josh Risdon on the Harvey Norman replay. That's up the other end of the field. And then the whole thing has just opened up completely from a Wanderers' viewpoint. And Peña has done it again. He is a maestro. It's not a half bad finish either from the Socceroo Nikita Rukavica. Clearly onside, acres of space. Plenty of time for this to go wrong. But he gets it completely right. This is a significant collapse from the Western Sydney Wanderers, who'd provided plenty in the first 75 minutes of this game, and they're watching it all ebb away.
It's his first ever match against Western Sydney for Nikita Rukavica, who, when he played for Perth, Western Sydney didn't exist, and when he returned to the A-League, it was with Western Sydney. Well, now it's taken him just a matter of minutes on the field to add them to his list of victims in the Australian top flight. Goal number 21 in match number 77, and a second this season after his goal against Brisbane.
Well, unlikely as it is, there's still a chance, obviously, with time remaining for Western Sydney. But the nature of this is really going to concern the coach, I'd suggest. I mean, they've played well for the most part. They scored a great goal to get the lead, and you'd have thought that that might have provided some sort of springboard to a more convincing run out to the game, but it's been quite the contrary. And Western have been good value tonight, but you wouldn't have seen the Wanderers about 15 minutes ago staring down the barrel of a 3-1 deficit.
That's the space of just 12 minutes. The 3 goals from Grimaldi in the 69th, Peña in the 77th, and now Rukavica in the 81st. And it certainly sums up the second half of Western Sydney Wanderers' season as well. Incapable for 9 weeks in the middle of the season of stringing together 2 consecutive wins when they went win-loss, 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 to now 1 win in their last 4. 5, in fact, with 3 draws in that time, and this could make it just 1 win in 6 for a side looking to make it back-to-back finals appearances after going 6 years in the A-League wilderness. Oh, and that's nasty. Clisby will pick up a yellow for a very frustrated challenge, and now it looks like Nick Milanovic is trying to get involved. Milanovic against his former club.
I think he had 2 people going for him.
Well, I don't know what Milanovic is upset about. He was looking to foul him as well. He was never going to get anywhere near the ball. Perhaps he's upset that Clisby got there first.
Well, I think they've taken umbrage that there's a feeling perhaps that he's broken the code. He started extracting the urine, as they say. So a bit of rough justice, a bit of a reducer was due.
Confirmation of the yellow card. Milanovic can't break away. All of a sudden, his 7th goal of the season is not looking the momentous occasion on the day he was announced in the Ollie Roos squad. The Olyroos will need goal scorers in the absence of Noah Botic, who hasn't yet put a line through taking part in the Olympics should the Olyroos qualify.
And Milanovic's goal was so good. It just seems like an age ago, doesn't it? And really the game has folded from the Wanderers' viewpoint in a very short time frame. But that beautiful goal from Milanovic, it might have been in another decade. It's a complete contrast where the Wanderers now find themselves.
Sapsford, sorry, for Borello, who's still full of running.
No, I mean, the lamentations for the red and black is that they've done so well to dig themselves out of the hole created by the trauma of last week's loss.
And this is going to be for Grimaldi for trying to slow down the taking of the free kick, run away with the ball.
But a goal in quick time from the Wanderers will really set things up for the finish. Hendricks good from these situations.
Well, they've been involved in some thrillers this season as well. Recently 4-3 against MacArthur, 3-3 against the Jets, and that's strong from Sutton, who's been collected with Milos Ninkovic.
Well, when you've got Milos Ninkovic throwing his head where Angels would fear to tread, just goes to show how much he feels he owes and wants to contribute to a turnaround. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen Milos Ninkovic never shied away from a challenge, but he's never gone full bore for that. I mean, that is completely selfless. A player who's made his name on the silky, crafty, scheming end of the beautiful game.
Look out, because here's Daniel Pena again. One way then the other with Pasquale, Thurgate. They're full of running, Western United. Plenty of white shirts forward. Risdon back, Pasquale again. They're really giving the Wanderers the runaround at the moment. They're playing like a side with confidence all of a sudden. Risdon again. No one to aim for in the middle, so he's got to just hold up and wait a moment. He's done that well enough. Thurgate now. His cross towards Rukovicia. Well, the flag is up for offside, so Western Sydney get the chance to build with the free kick, even if they were in possession.
And these 3 points for Western United rather, presuming of course that they can sail safely to full time from here, just puts them 1 point behind Newcastle and Adelaide, Robbie. 2 points behind Perth. Adelaide and Perth with a game to come, of course. But a real chance, if they can secure this win, to navigate out of the bottom 4 and avoid that cup playoff. That's the first port of call. If they can keep things going, well, will they keep believing they can make the 6? It's highly improbable. But they've played like they believe it.
Perhaps, in some respects, the pressure's off. Oh, as Risdon almost wanted to have another little word with Ninkovic there, who went flying in. Ninko, who of course has announced, oof, no. Western Sydney have to be a little bit careful here, because Brandon Borello only had one thing on his mind there as well. He picks up a yellow card. Pena has caused them all sorts of headaches in this one. Double change, Parias and Antonsen coming on, so Brandon Borello leaves with a yellow card next to his name. And the other change is Nick Milanovic coming off as well. Well, it's a fairly sombre place to be at the moment, Western Sydney Wanderers. If they weren't before, they are now looking over their shoulders at the chasing pack. As you just mentioned, Andy, the likes of Brisbane and Perth Glory are on the charge. Melbourne City and Adelaide not at the moment. And Western United, well, there's still 21 points available for them. Even then, they'd be counting on other teams not picking up maximum points, as we've got 5 minutes of stoppage time. And it's going to be a third A-League appearance this season for the 18-year-old Luke Vickery. Made his debut in the 2-0 win over Newcastle. As Daniel Pena goes down, Marcelo needs to come across and get his compatriot up onto his feet and get these final minutes back underway.
He's a star, Daniel Pena. He deserves a big stage. A nice 25,000 seat stadium in the western suburbs of Melbourne would be just the thing.
And they'll hopefully have 5,000 for the final 3 home matches of the season. To be played at Tarneet, so Pena with a goal and 2 assists to his name. And John Aloisi, well, I think he's of the same mind as you, Andy Harper. He is the star, the jewel in the crown of this Western United side. Oh, as the break is on again here. Grimaldi for Wales. Vickery charging through the middle. Lucky Wales cross is behind Vickery and Rukavizia, but Garuccio's got there. No way past Sapsford. Antonsen. It's cleared by Tomoki Imai. Western United failed to win outside of Victoria, because they have been playing home matches in Ballarat, of course, but failed to win outside of Victoria in their last 10 matches outside the state. They are going to stop that this evening, and the place where they've come to win is none other than a second ever victory for them at CommBank Stadium in Sydney's West. We talked about a month ago, how would you see this match? Western Sydney got the 1-0 win in Hobart. Oh, as the cross in, it might not be finished yet with just over a minute left. But the form in the last month suggests that Western United were almost favourites coming into this one.
Well, yeah, they played well tonight. 65 minutes in, you still couldn't have seen. 75 minutes in, you couldn't have seen this result. And what's been a very difficult week for the football club has now been bookended by 2 home results, which are very deflating for all concerned. Western United, it's been a tough season for them, but they'll enjoy the joy of an away win like this. Good goals they've scored to win it. Had to come back from conceding a great goal from Milanovic, and it's just remarkable that not so much that the Wanderers couldn't go on and secure a win from there, but that the loss has become a little bit ugly for them.
Well, for Western United, it's Melbourne Victory up next on Thursday at Amy Park. It's a home match for them at Amy. Then Adelaide away after the international break. And then, fingers crossed, that next match against MacArthur on the 6th of April will be at their new home in Tarneet. There are some pretty depressed faces there on the Western Sydney bench. The final whistle puts the Wanderers out of their misery. It is back-to-back wins for the first time this season for John Aloisi's Western United. And perhaps there is life in the 12th place club yet. Western United. It is still as they say, mathematically possible. Nick Milanovic's opener in the end counts for precious little as Grimaldi, Daniel Peña and Nikita Rukavica turned the tables in the second half. Marco Rudan's side with now 1 win in 6. A shake of the hand with John Aloisi, Michael Theo and Hayden Fox. They concede a goal. It's still no clean sheet, but it's a vastly improved Western United, and their good run of form continues. Will it be enough? We will have to wait and see, but certainly for the Western Sydney Wanderers, their finals place is coming under considerable threat. It's all finished here at CommBank. A win for the away side, Western United over the Wanderers by 3-1. Let's head straight down to Neve Owen.
Ben Garuccio, how important is that win for your side?
Oh, massive, massive. I think after what happened to us earlier in the year here, a bit of revenge feels good. Obviously, when you lose or you're going at half-time 5-0, it's never easy. So to come here again, the boys showed spirit tonight. We go behind and then we come back and get the win, so it was great.
It looked spicy from go to woe. Is that how it felt out there?
I think that's the most free kicks we've given away all year. So the boss spoke about a battle. I think we definitely were in the battle from the start, and I think, you need that against Western Sydney, especially we knew after the derby last week, losing 4-1, that they were going to come out firing, so we had to match them with the fight. I think we did that, and then obviously our quality came through in the end.
You clearly believe in the tooth fairy because you found that tooth down in front of goal. Did you leave it in safe hands, and are you okay?
I left it in safe hands. I'm spewing that I get to do an interview today with half a tooth, but yeah, look, my head just went down, and as soon as I got up, I was like, something's not right, something's missing. So I managed to pick it up, so we'll see if the tooth fairy comes tonight.
We'll leave you to go and find it. Congratulations on the win. Ben Garuccio joined